All right, all right, all right, all right. Welcome to another edition of Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting. I am your host, DJ Impact, and seems like we are going to have to do a roll call just to see who is all here today. So let's get right to it. Sin City Steve, you here, man?
Present.
Okay, good. Thank you.
How y'all
Thank you.
doing?
Good, good, good.
Yeah,
King Lucky, you here?
the champ that runs the camp is here.
Okay, good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Matt Michaels, you here?
Simon Street. He's not here. It's Simon Street. The people watching on the live stream can figure this out in 5 seconds.
Absolutely, but not our podcasters, and we don't want to forget them because we have quite a few of them who listen to us on our weekly basis, and we welcome all of you if you on our Zoom or if you're listening to us on Monday. We appreciate it. Just a few reminders before we get right into our show. Don't forget to download our app, which is located from the App Store of your iOS or your Android phone. Download it. Tonight, we had a great time in the chat room talking about payback, which is what we're about to get right into. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on all platforms, especially if you're one of our Zoom listeners who haven't yet hit the subscription button. We would love you to do that for us. With that, fellas, let's get right into payback. And I got to tell you, I was the show actually really wasn't that bad. Going into it, I was thinking that, this is just going to be one of those things. I don't know why they had it so close to SummerSlam. It's probably going to be boo-boo, but whatever. At least it's another pay-per-view. And I got to tell you, you say what?
It's going to be what?
It's going to be boo-boo, okay? But I got to tell you, I actually enjoyed it. And I'm curious to what you all think. And we'll just kind of go down the line and see what stood out to any of you. I'm sure the one that wasn't the greatest was the pre-show, right? The Riot Squad and Iconics. I guess that didn't kind of reach the level. I don't know. To me, it looked like Liv was having a hard time trying to get going. Was it me, or did y'all feel the same if you watched the show, the pre-show?
I actually missed the pre-show.
Okay.
But I saw the result, and I know they're back together. That's as far as
I mean, it was all right. I usually missed the pre-show, but I was as I was getting everything for the chat room, I had it on, and I mean, overall, the match wasn't horrible, but it just seemed like her concentration was being thrown off at certain times in the ring, and it was showing that. So, nevertheless, the show did kick off with the Hurt Business, the CEO of that, Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews for the United States Championship. What do you guys think of that? First off, we do have a new champion.
Oof. I think it was a much needed win. Bobby was on a trajectory. I know Michaels isn't a fan. So he had to be thrilled.
The point is you sit here, you'll constantly bitch about, they're not using Apollo Crews the right way, blah, blah, blah. They give him a fucking title, and now the belt's gone in a fucking blink of the eye.
Well, he's had the title for a while. Let's he's had it.
When has he fucking used the title? He hasn't been in any fucking feuds.
It's true. So I don't know. I was happy for Bobby Lashley to win. I thought he needed it. I thought it was the right spot. If they would have did it after Apollo won a week or so after, but I was okay with the result. I mean, I thought it was a good win. The Hurt Business looks good. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, okay. I think it was a good match. I have to see where they're going with throwing the title onto Lashley. Obviously, I don't want to take any credit for anything, but
hey, take it.
Yeah, I mean, talking about pushing Apollo Crews out of the, guy wasn't on TV for a year. And it just so happens that, we mentioned it on this show, and boom, he's a U.S. champion and, doing all this stuff. So I would have preferred them to keep the title on him, but we have to see where it's going.
Well, I mean, so the Hurt Business, is if they're going to really show that they are a business to not mess with, you got to have some gold, right? I mean, you can't keep talking all of this, how, you mess with us and, you get beat down, but yet you lose all your matches.
Well, yeah, not only that, but you can't just have like that transitional 24/7 championship that they throw on Sheldon every once in a while. I mean,
Right.
And so they needed a true, champion. They got it. They got a true title for the faction. So it was a big get.
Yeah. What's up, Matt? You look like you're about to go ham on somebody.
Let it rip.
I'm about to. Give me 1 second to find the final thing I need. Okay. Bobby Lashley, 44 years old. Shelton Benjamin, 45 years old. MVP, going to be 47 this year. They really fucking need gold. This is ridiculous.
Listen, so, okay.
No, everyone shouts and complains about how they don't utilize the lower talent. They don't elevate them. All these guys, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, they take all the spotlight. And here it is. You got a guy who you didn't even utilize when you put the belt on him. It was almost just to make sure that the guy doesn't go to a different company. And now if I was him, I would seriously considering, fuck this. I'm out of here.
I just think that if under the name that they are going under, and just based on their strength, it only makes sense for somebody to have gold. And I'm not saying they need to have the Raw title. I'm just saying they need to have a title.
Do any of them need a title?
Do they need a title? It makes more sense. They make more sense to have a title.
Let's put it this way. Why are they even a faction?
Well, that's a different question.
Well,
but because they are a faction and because they are the Hurt Business. Okay,
let me ask you this. How come then the WWE in all their infinite wisdom didn't put Apollo Crews with MVP and make Lashley the one chasing the title as a face? Oh, that's right, because Lashley can't fucking talk. And Shelton fucking Benjamin, what the fuck is he there for? Period right now.
Yeah. That's a good question.
The guy's a good wrestler. Let him do the fucking job for other guys who you want to elevate. And they're not doing that right now.
But I think that's a good point, Michael's what you said. He's done the job for quite some time. Look at his last few years or whatever.
And then why are you putting him into a faction? If he does the job, okay, then put him in the faction. But put Apollo Crews. Put someone who you have.
And I think that's why you're going to see ultimately Cedric Alexander going there.
Oh, great. Cedric fucking Alexander. That just elevates him. For God's sakes.
Well, I could elevate him. Why would that not elevate him?
They do need to have somebody a lot younger than them in the group.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is the guy they bring along. It's kind of like Nation of Domination, where you had the Young Rock.
Cedric Alexander is not the fucking Young Rock. Blow it up your ass.
Well, clearly he's not.
Get some balls, WWE. Fucking put Big E in that group. Yeah.
No, yeah.
It would fucking work. Apollo Crews, Big E, and Cedric Alexander. MVP's your fucking manager. There you go. There's your faction. But no, we're going to push Bobby fucking Lashley down everyone's throats. God damn it again. Fuck him.
He hates Bobby Lashley.
Damn.
He's fucking my age, dude. Why?
I do understand.
Have you ever been a fan of Bobby Lashley ever?
No, probably not. He has absolutely no fucking charisma, man.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. Hurt Business t-shirt.
Hey, I want one of those first.
I'll pass. I was going to say, good, you covered my gift to him.
Listen, I get it that age is important, right? But if you can still go at it at that age, why should that not be
Because you're
celebrated in a way?
locking up a guy. Because you're locking up a guy like Lashley, right? In a
Yeah.
spot where you could be elevating someone else, and now
No, I
that
get
person
that.
goes to Steve's show, right? Steve, I'm just being honest.
I'm not gonna say anything to the contrary.
It's as simple as that. You're fucking your own horse.
Hello.
Like to fuck horses. Maybe that's bad.
I don't know.
I never heard that one. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
This just turned into the bestiality podcast.
yeah.
So next, going to speaking of Big E that we mentioned, his match against Sheamus. That was actually a better match than I thought. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it was a good match over a quality opponent, credible opponent, former champion. Says a lot about, what they're going to do with Big E. Still letting, watching this tonight, and I never thought I would probably get tired of the music. I think it may be time, as long as they don't fuck it up. I'd like to see him with some different music. I think something to separate him a little bit. But overall, I can't complain. It was a good match. Bring me back the Sheamus, the Irish brawler character. That's still my favorite. It was good. It was good for Big E.
If they change his music, then that signals that he's on his way out of the faction. You know that, right? Which is something that I've been calling for, incidentally, for the last year.
I know you have.
Yeah. I push him to the moon. The only thing that I would say about this match is I don't care. Every single fucking time he does that stupid fucking spear through the ropes, I worry about him fucking landing incorrectly and breaking his fucking neck. Every single time.
It was actually a little cringeworthy tonight too.
Yeah, dude, like every time that he does that shit, yeah. And I mean, I would legitimately hate to see, somebody that's as skilled as Big E, somebody that you could put the brand championship of whatever brand that he's on, you could put it on him and let him run for a while, and everything would be good.
Except for one factor, he's a black guy, so they put it on him and he'll run for 2 months and then it'll be gone.
So to tie some shit together, what happens in the impending brand draft, and what happens if, I don't know, Big E happens to be on the same brand as maybe the Hurt Business?
Oh,
right there, you've got your building talent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as long as that he's the one who takes out Lashley for that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Either that or shit. I mean, you could even have them both coexist in there, as long as there's a clear-cut pecking order that Big E is going to be your showpiece of that stable. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that is in our Facebook Live. We see you, Lori, Shed, John, Raven, everybody that's here. Continue to send your chats in, and we'll get them through as they pop up. King Corbin, Matt Riddle. Even that one, I mean, was a good match. And I mean, man, what Corbin said about Matt Riddle's home situation, that was a little tough right there, right? I thought Matt was just going to really come out and just hammer him after what he said. Well, but I mean, he still got the win. What's up?
That's why Baron Corbin is such a good heel, because, dude, he's not. I mean, at the point that he's at right now, they can take those risks. Especially since everything has already been, thrown out. But I thought that was pretty interesting too, that he took that personal shot. But it makes for an even better feud that they're, this feud that they're in right now. And it was a good match. And Corbin beat the shit out of him, in the back. So I thought that was pretty cool too. Riddle got the win. Corbin still got a little bit of shine there, beating him down. It was a good night of business for both of those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was about what I expected. The right guy won. Corbin kept his heat. Keep it moving.
Okay. Matt Michaels, you approve? Thumbs up approval?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay. Well, let's get to what everybody really want to talk about, right? The women tag team title. Sasha Banks and Bailey versus Shayna and Nia Jax.
So
man,
it all makes sense.
Okay.
This is why Simon Street's not on the show.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
He's
They
a
got hurt.
He's a little hurt.
It does. Man, listen.
He's had a rough week with her losing.
I know, man. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
he was on here talking all sorts of shit, and then she loses everything in the span of a week.
Oh, man. Poor Sasha.
Listen, I know, right? Shayna and Nia, a powerhouse. There is no one. The only way that they could lose these titles, right? Tell me if I'm wrong, is when they decide, because they already have their beef, when they decide that they intervene between, because there's nobody that can beat them.
Yeah.
Not
even
planted that seed.
Yeah. And Shayna's just a beast within herself. I mean, submitting two women at the same time.
Well, so there's kind of your out. You know, she won the tag team titles by herself, basically.
Yep.
You know, at some point down the road, she'll reference that. And, you know, she looked dominant doing it. I thought it was a pretty good finish, too, because neither Sasha or Bailey, you know, were the one that kind of cost them the match. They both were. So this is just going to be even more entertaining as they continue.
Wait. What do you mean that neither of
They
them?
both did. They both.
Wait,
no, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Of course
she
I'm
used
right.
Sasha's arm and Bailey tapped. Yeah, you
exactly.
are. Yeah,
exactly.
But they were both compromised. So yeah, you are right. They were both compromised. But yes, Bailey was the one.
Storyline. If they both would have submitted, it would have made no fucking sense.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is you're going to see Shayna and Nia are going to be a face tag team now.
A face tag team?
Yeah.
I could see that.
I mean, they were happy celebrating, but I don't see that.
No, they don't have to get along. But they're going to be the baby faces in this whole thing. You're going to see it morph. It's just going to arc a little bit, and then they're going to be.
Is it like the Daniel Bryan and Kane?
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say Daniel Bryan and Kane. Is it kind of like how that started?
You know, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Vince doesn't know what to do with Shane. Okay? There's no doubt there. We've seen that now. And Nia has a horrible reputation right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're basically trying to do is take two, in your words, DJ Impact boo-boos, and put them together and now make them, you know, something that the fans will start catching on to, and now you sell merchandise.
Yeah, John from the chat said that they'll be the female rock and sock connection, complete opposites.
What I would say is, you know, I wouldn't even make it that cerebral. I would just say that they're gonna come in and wreck shop, and people will view them more as anti-heroes. That's how I see that. I don't see them grandstanding to the fans by any stretch of the imagination, but they're just going to be almost like a tweener, but you know, they're not going to do underhanded, dirty shit.
Yeah.
At least that would be how I would run that. But
well,
at least until the time comes when Nia turns heel and joins the fucking the Samoan stable.
The biggest factor is that they are going to dominate because you just put two of your roughest, toughest fighters in a tag team, in which you already have basically like how many times are they going to wrestle the Iconics? And you're going to like make me believe the Iconics are going to be able to keep up with them?
Could you have them at some point, go to NXT and interrupt the match, maybe like you had that main event this week, and have Rhea and Gonzalez team up to face them at some point? Doesn't have to be in the immediate future, but they're record shop over everybody. And at some point, those two make an alliance to face those two. Any interest in that?
No. Anyway.
I figured the answer was no.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, again, it was, hey, man, you tried.
Yeah, if it happens.
Good match between there. Okay, another big shocker, right?
Huge shocker.
Orton, Keith Lee. Keith Lee won that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me your. I didn't understand this when reading your text in the chat. Why do you view this as a shocker?
It's a shocker to me just because I would just never think that Keith Lee coming from NXT would face a top guy like Orton. Now, I do understand how the logic of you're saying, hey, you got someone that's older and you got someone that's younger, and they need to build up. I get that. But I just didn't think that, to be honest with you, I was even shocked to see that Orton was going to be the very first one that Keith was going to come up against. That right there was a shock alone, let alone beat him.
But you know what's interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Randy Orton talked shit about NXT in Ciampa, I wonder if that's the payback. Remember that? When he called out Ciampa and he said, "Oh, our training league or whatever." I wonder if Vince was like, we're gonna put him over. I don't know, but either way, I think.
But I mean, bottom line, the performance of Keith Lee. The performance doesn't make it seem like it was a shock. I mean, when you see them in the ring, you go, oh, definitely Keith Lee should more than likely beat Orton when you size them up. But just how things normally come between bringing someone up. That's the part that really got me.
Yeah. But I think if you are going to build stars now, right, and this is a problem that they've had for quite some time, this is the way that you do it. You got Lee over in his first pay-per-view, with the major brand. So I think that they did a lot, and also too, I will say that little kind of promo they did with him and JBL. In the future, I wouldn't mind seeing, once Lee has that heel run, JBL manages him. I know you don't like anything I say, okay? It's hard for you to agree with anything I say, but you know what? That's okay.
Hey, by the way, go ahead, Matt.
No, I mean, why do you need JBL to do it when you have the fucking Hurt brand?
Mm.
Oh.
well, how long? It depends on how long they let that brand go for.
Yeah, listen, the way Vince makes decisions, Keith Lee's going to be a heel in 2 more weeks. So, come on.
Who are you kidding? He thinks it's Mark Henry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally.
Is that why he put the dry fit outfit on him? The dry
Seriously,
fit.
dude. So the thing is, I'm completely fine with his in-ring attire, but I really got to hand it to the WWE costuming department for his entrance attire. He looks like he's wearing some shit that Nyla fucking Rose would wear from AEW. Okay. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And just change the damn music back.
Yeah.
Give him his NXT music. Give him his NXT keep everything from NXT except for the dry fit top. I'm fine with him wearing that. That's fine.
Yeah.
They're not going to change the music because of the rights they have to do. That's why they changed it.
It did CFOs. Is that one of the songs CFOs did?
Yeah.
Figures.
Mm.
Well,
You mean to tell me though that they couldn't have given him something better than that stock shit
yeah, you know why?
music?
Because the first part of it is so high. Bask in his glory. It comes on so high, and then the rest of the song just fades off.
Yeah, like you can't. It's all like monotonous after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know that they have a huge track record of having lame ass first songs.
Oh yeah,
people, and then within
completely.
a year or two, then all of
I'll
a sudden,
find that. Yeah.
And for me, why this match was a bit of a shocker was because the next rumored opponent for Drew McIntyre was going to be Orton. So where do they go from here with that? I don't know.
wait, didn't Orton just feud with Drew?
Yeah,
Like,
but
according to Meltzer, of course, obviously take it with a grain of salt, but Meltzer and Alvarez and other places that I read as well had mentioned that was a possible outcome. So I expected the absolute worst in this match, and Orton didn't just lay down for him. He put him over.
yeah.
He made Lee look like $1 million.
Well, you still have they can still circle back around with him and Drew, because he just did whatever to Drew, beat the shit out of him and fucking kicked his head off. So you can still circle back around to it. It's still good. It's still good to go for that feud.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that Vince doesn't make Lee a heel within the next 4 weeks and he feuds with Drew?
We'll see. I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily.
Yeah, I wouldn't pull the trigger on it just yet.
Yeah, people want him to be a babyface a little bit too much right now.
Of course, but again, we're talking about Mr. I'm going to decide 5 minutes before the show starts on what the fuck's going on.
No, don't give him don't even give him that much credit. There have been scripts that have been rewritten while the show has been going on.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see where Keith Lee goes from here. Mysterio, Dominic, Seth, Murphy. Are you guys kind of happy that this is what we believe, right? That this is the end of
this has to be the end.
We can only hope.
And this was definitely the bathroom break of the night for me.
Ooh.
I'm just so tired of this whole fucking angle. I just hope it's done tonight and we don't see any remnants of it tomorrow.
Damn.
Yeah, I obviously I think that you're going to see the Murphy and Rollins feud start now. So that's completely fine. Where this leaves Dominic, who knows? I'm sure that he'll get, they'll peel him off, and somebody will.
They're gonna team him with Humberto.
Try to abuse him or whatever. Was it?
No, I actually would run him. I mean, listen.
I said they would team him with Humberto. Go ahead.
He did great in these last couple matches, but I would still probably season him up a little bit. Even though he's made it to the main roster, I'd season him up a little bit. Have him work at the PC. There's no need to have him on TV right now.
There's no reason to have Rey fucking Mysterio on TV either. King Lucky.
Hey man, I'm a huge fan of Rey's. Thank you.
You're fucking you're a whole they give him and now you're like, well, I don't ever want to see this guy again.
Not Rey, his son. His son can take some time to get to where he needs to be. But
I think Rey needs to take some time. We don't need
probably
Rey
does.
fucking high profile matches anymore. The guy's fucking almost 47 years old.
Yeah, cycle him out for a little bit. I agree. I'm okay with that.
So you don't think that Vince should have signed, gave him another contract?
No, I think I'm okay with that.
Vince gave him a contract for one reason.
Mm-hmm.
People away from the other guy.
From AEW.
You would have been in AEW next week.
Shit, he would have been the TNT champion. We can. We'll get there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see where that goes. All right. How the night ended.
Oh.
All right. Braun, the Fiend, and Roman Reigns for that title, that World Championship title. What do you guys think about that? Roman at first didn't look like he was going to show up, although he said he was going to show up. So, but at some point he did show up, signed the contract right at the top and handled business. Meanwhile, he decided to do that while the Fiend and Braun are damaging the rings, the referees getting thrown out and missing. I mean, a lot of stuff was going on. What's your guys' take?
I'll tell you what. If there was ever one thing that happened in wrestling that I'd want to see a live reaction from the crowd, it would have been this, right? Because this is a huge moment. I felt like when they did that on SmackDown, they flipped the world on its head. And I thought it was a good piece of business. So now tonight, they had the two guys going at it, the Fiend and Strowman, and they broke the ring and did everything to each other. And then here comes Roman to pick up the scraps, grab the title. I thought it was great. The only one thing that I thought was a little bit of a miss is they had Alexa Bliss
shut up.
backstage.
Shut up.
Well, you said like,
come on. She's not going to get involved with that. It's over. Let it be.
Why they show her again tonight?
Because it was part of it's because it's part of the fucking Fiends thing. It's not because we're turning Alexa Bliss into part of Bray Wyatt's. Fuck off.
You want to defend yourself, King Lucky.
I enjoy it.
Okay.
Go
ahead, Sissy.
If we ignore the legality of signing a contract for a match that's already begun, because after all, once the bell rings, the match has officially started. As long as we ignore that legality and just, willing suspension of disbelief applies, I think that this is a perfect use of Roman as a heel. He came in after the match had already started, after the two guys had already beat the shit out of each other. I do have to say one damn thing.
All right. Let it out.
If we cannot see another superplex breaking the ring spot for another 5 fucking years, please, I would be just so happy. Thank you. It's become a fucking trope. Other than that, I mean, it's Roman won. Braun ate the pin exactly as anybody that had any kind of common sense could see coming from a mile away. It is what it is.
Okay. Nobody else want to throw in their 2 cents on that match?
No, I thought it was good.
Okay.
I didn't have a complaint about it. I will say that now you have 2 pay-per-views with no fucking retribution.
All right.
2 shows now, no retribution. Like, how important is the group? Not.
We don't know.
All right.
We don't know.
I think it would have definitely been SummerSlam.
You know what?
Now,
If go ahead.
I was just gonna say, who's to say that there wasn't anyone in Retribution on the show tonight?
Exactly.
Of course you could say
Exactly. Well, yeah, but you're the same motherfucker who in 6 weeks, when Retribution all of a sudden is like, oh shit, this is fucking over and this is hot, you're gonna be like, these guys are fucking brilliant. I was always behind them, blah blah fucking.
We'll see that. Okay?
I called it.
We'll see.
Yeah, I've been keeping myself from reading supposedly the identities of a few of these members has been exposed. So
don't worry. The second that those identities get leaked to the internet, King Lucky will text them to you. Just
I already have them. I just haven't posted them.
Who do you think's leaking them to the internet? He's just making this shit up and throwing it out there.
Boom, baby.
No, my Lord. All right. Well, that concludes the Payback. Overall, though, you guys, great show, though, right?
Overall, yeah, absolutely. And I said this last week. I thought it was going to be better than SummerSlam. I still think it was.
Average C show.
For real? For Payback?
I'd say bad B minus.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's neck and neck with SummerSlam for me. I could actually say that I enjoyed this one almost more than SummerSlam.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with that, but I wouldn't have gave it a C. If you gave that, you would have gave that a C.
Like I said,
what would you give
C or B minus, one of the two.
Okay.
Coin flip.
All right. Well, let's jump over into.
Steve's going to start writing stuff in Moxley's and Sunny Kisses.
Wow.
Whoa.
I love it.
Shout out to John in the chat. He says, if it was on TNT, ... Well played.
Oh, man.
Shant chimes in and says that he gives it 5.5 out of 10.
Ouch.
At least I'm not the evil judge.
guy.
For real, man. See, this is where I think the problem comes in between AEW fans and those of WWE. How can you rate tonight's a 5.5 or even say it was a C? Anywhere, if you want to throw a number at it, it was 7-8, letter B. Nowhere below that.
Ask Lance Storm.
Actually, yeah, exactly. Well played.
Yeah. That's
I do have to say though, DJ Impact.
Sure.
7 or an 8 is a C. If you do the grade school math.
It's technically a 7 or an 8.
An 8.
Seven's a C.
An 8 would be a B.
And 8 is a B minus.
Yeah.
Which is what I put it at. You're welcome.
If you're putting it on, yeah,
you're welcome. I'm right again.
If you're
I just don't toot my own fucking horn as much as these other.
That's
fucks.
right, baby. Toot, motherfuckers.
If you're putting it on a 10-point scale, a 7 or an 8 is going to be a higher grade because you're not going to put it on a 100% scale.
6 and below. 6 and below is 6 and below is an F.
All right.
We'll get to the F's later with the AEW talk.
Damn. Okay.
Right.
Let's jump over to Emergence. All right. That was Tuesday.
Speaking of
night
F's.
That definitely
for Impact Wrestling.
I'm kidding. I didn't even watch the show.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think you even watched it. But King Lucky was ready to agree to it.
I'll tell you this, though. I'll tell you this. I rely on DJ Impact for all my Impact Wrestling coverage.
That's good because he's like rainbows and lollipops, baby.
Good.
Real.
Good.
Let me tell you. Emergence. Yes, I did watch it. I thought the first match was good, which was Eddie Edwards and RVD. And then I thought the end match was good, which was, the champion.
The last match. The last match was a 30-minute Iron Man match against Deonna Purrazzo and Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace, yeah.
Yeah. And
there wasn't a whole lot else in there. I mean, they took up all that time with that match, so there wasn't a whole lot you could really fit into the show. But I thought,
And Deonna did retain her belt, so that's how the show ended. But overall, like he said, it was a good show. I mean, Eddie Edwards did retain his title against RVD, and next week he's going to be challenged by Eric Young. And Eric Young's been making a lot of moves since he's been there. So I don't know.
At the top of the card right away.
I mean, Eddie's belt might be coming off finally. We'll see.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
What'd you say, Matt Michaels?
Finally?
Oh.
He's had the belt for like 3 months, if that. Good God.
I wouldn't mind if they did give the belt to EY.
Well, and he also they created a nice promo for him too, where he's promoting their next pay-per-view, which I think is Bound for Glory in like October.
Yeah.
But he's like in a major promo, Eric Young, in that. So I'm like, I mean, that's almost given in a way, but I don't know.
Yeah, the best thing they should do is put a belt on almost 41-year-old guy.
Yeah. Well, there was Wrestle House, the good old show that King Lucky hates that I enjoy. And Swinger and Crazy Steve got themselves in a blindfold match, which was actually really entertaining. Okay. You have to just open up your mind to want to do what you're doing right now, King Lucky, to just laugh at what you're seeing, because it's really funny watching that stuff. I don't look at Wrestle House going, dude, this is stupid. Why is this on? I go, what more creative stuff they're gonna come up with? And by the way, Swinger always would call Crazy Steve his young boy. I noticed they stopped that. They stopped that language. They stopped that language this Tuesday. I was happy they were, because it always sounded weird when he say that. He'd be like, "Oh, hey, that's my young boy right there." And I'm like, "Swinger, why do you say that?" And it's so, and it'd be in the weirdest situations when he would say things like that.
Dude, but you got to understand what a young boy is, Steve. If you want to actually let Daryl know that it wasn't pedophilia.
I understand
it's
that.
definitely not pedophilia.
I'm saying the way that it sounds, especially how Swinger, he knows Swinger how he's,
and someone named Swinger is saying
right
it as well.
Yes.
I mean,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know, so I forgot what term he used, but he's got a different one. I think they said, let's just switch it up. We had Madison Rain. Oh, she was called. Oh, yes, she was called a Karen this week on her show.
Yeah.
She didn't like being called a Karen. Okay, and who called her that was Wentz from the Rascals. And I thought that was a pretty funny little segment. Brian Myers, Willie Mack, they had a match again. Mm-hmm. And and I thought that was all right.
Brian who? Who is that?
Oh, you better know who Brian Myers is. You do know, right? You just joking with me?
Yeah, but I'm sure that 90% of the people listening to this don't have a fucking clue.
All right, so let me use the name everyone does know by Curtis Hawkins. I had a match with Willie Mack.
Curtis who?
Oh Lord. Oh man. So anyway, overall though, like I said, it was, it wasn't too much more going on, because again, they did have that 30-minute Iron Man match, which that really was a really good match. Yes. That Jordan Grace and Deanna put on. So we'll see where they go from there on the following week. Oh, and I forgot, Heath is doing his best now to get on. He's running his commercials, by the way. I think it's hashtag Impact for Heath. I want to say that's what it is, to try to get him to finally get on the show. So Rhino's going to have a match next week, but Rhino doesn't have a partner. And he's telling you to at least, let's get the hashtags going so we can get Heath in there to help him out. So let's see if, it's enough people push that hashtag.
It'll be enough. He'll be on the show next week.
Yeah, more than likely. But, it's a pretty cool little thing what they're running with Heath. Why not? All right, let's move over into NXT. Started off, was anybody sad at how it started? I mean, I guess you already kind of knew what was going to happen, but, I mean, Karrion was about to go on a roll.
Yeah, it's a tough break. But, he'll be back. He'll be back tougher than ever. He showed a lot of heart, a lot of guts, sticking it out through that match, and it was the right decision to make, based on the injury. So,
and I'm gonna tell you just how awesome he is, because I now know you all are geniuses, see it all and know it all.
Thank you.
But I know, right? But during that match with Keith Lee, I didn't see at any point where his injury was so bad that he was still able to finish the way he did. It still looked like to me it was an A+ match.
Yeah,
so that's how great. I have to shout him out, because I had no idea. I mean, I looked at that like, wow, that was a really good match, just to know he was fighting with a broken shoulder.
John from the chat says, calling it now, he returns to the main roster instead of going to NXT.
Mm.
It's a little wrinkle. Any of you buying that?
Matt Michael should attack that.
The logic against it is he just earned his stripes with Triple H.
Mm.
And people, in NXT just absolutely loved him. They like him. So there's a chance, but it also comes down to you didn't build up his brand at all yet. So if you're putting him on TV without him having any exposure, it's gonna be failure from the beginning in terms of the character build. Plus, then Vince also likes to fuck with characters. So Karrion Kross now becomes a Maine sea fisherman, and Scarlett a mermaid, and something like that.
A Maine sea fisherman and Scarlett's a mermaid. Sounds like Vince.
Yeah.
And guess what? If that shit doesn't happen to them, I give you about 5 weeks until it happens to someone else.
Someone's getting that shit.
Uncle Brucey, if you're listening, please give me my Maine sea fisherman.
I can say though, when he comes back, I could really see him as being pushed extremely heavily as a baby face.
Yep. That's the right move to make.
Yeah, I mean, he came in, wrecked shop, and rose to the top extremely quickly. Scarlett is fucking smoking hot, and he will be the monster that everybody wants to cheer for. And especially as we proceed through this card, I'm going to make a point as to the Iron Man match for next week. So it makes sense.
He'd probably be on the takeover because you're looking at probably 8 weeks, I think they said. You're probably looking at the takeover for Survivor Series weekend, so that'd be a pretty big debut to come back to.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's only about 8 weeks?
Yeah.
8 weeks.
Because I was going to ask how long they were thinking.
Yeah, he's basically gone for almost 2 months.
Gotcha. Okay.
So.
Well, even bigger and exciting news. We have new tag team champs.
Yeah!
Brazango, yes. They're your new tag team. You guys are happy about that? Beating Imperium?
I think there was no other way that they could do it because NXT UK was back and those guys, they just fit, give them a good little rub. Let them win the championship. I don't see them with the titles that long, but, it was good. It was a good feel-good moment,
Yeah. Okay. Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
As he says, Daddy's home.
Yeah. I'm in on that one.
Wasn't a good look on Jake Atlas, huh? He had to take the
Sometimes we all got to take L's, baby.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I don't know. It's crazy. Like, that's the why I think I couldn't be a wrestler, right? Because when they say that they come in like, hey, Impact, come here, man. You see what just happened to Alice? I need that to happen to you next week. And that's when I'm like, nah, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm just gonna help put all the, put the ring connectors together and make sure the padding's down and make sure the ropes are tight. That'll be my job. I'm good. I'm happy with it. I'm not taking a Jake Atlas.
Didn't you just wrestle Randy Orton tonight?
You know what? You have that McMahon complex.
It's so funny. It's so funny, actually, when we met Keith Lee at Royal Rumble weekend, we took a picture with them, and somebody else said that they look like brothers.
Well, they are. They're both brothers.
Yeah, they are both brothers. Technically, they're not wrong.
Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, we got Tommaso back, and he havoc as he should. We saw that there was a little backstage words between Austin Theory and Bronson Reed.
Oh, dude. Where has Austin Theory been?
Evidently, he got into the same car accident as Velveteen Dream, huh?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, he ain't on the main roster no more. So he's back.
He was on the main roster is the question.
Yeah, I guess. I think he was.
He was for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How much
Right.
does it have to suck really to go, and cut the promo saying that you were at WrestleMania at age 22, and now, just a couple of months later, you're back in NXT, jobbing to Bronson Reed. Good on you, bro.
Hey, at least he didn't have to go anywhere.
That's true.
True.
That is true.
That's a definite upside. I mean, listen, whatever happened, we don't know. But there's only positives from him going back and working at NXT. Vince doesn't have a chance to fuck him over, so I'm down with it.
The most exciting part that, again, because I'm all about entertainment. Entertain me, please. Robert Stone, once again, this time, not only he ran over by the tank that Shotzi is driving, but it almost covers all of his legs, all the way close to his back. I mean, he completely got ran over. The funniest thing in the world.
Yeah,
I love it.
He's so good. I mean, the stuff they keep doing with him, it's entertaining, So I'm down with it. I like the guy.
Yeah,
and it's good. It's good business.
It is good stuff on that. And then we are.
They're trying to push Shotzi, man.
Hey, good on them.
Good on them. I was really surprised to see that match result with Shotzi beating Mia Yim so easily.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, I feel bad for Mia.
Yeah,
she is such a great worker.
Yeah.
She can even cut promos, but dude, she must have fell out of favor with the wrong person. Because,
He went up to the main roster.
That was exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just, hopefully things will work themselves out, but Jesus Christ. But yes, I'm happy for Shotzi. She's a very good talent, so.
Without a doubt.
Is anyone care that Killian Dane attacked Drake? Okay. What did you say?
The singer?
If only.
Hey, real quick, before we move on, Shaq says Wade Barrett on commentary. Yes, that's a good call out. That was I'm still hoping, and it probably won't happen because he's doing his C-level movies. He just got this cushy job doing commentary. But I'd still like to see him wrestle. I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
You know what? And then you're going to bitch that they don't use him right and blah, blah, fucking blah. You just want to see everyone win. Fuck
I
off.
don't want to see everybody win. But
you're such a fanboy.
Fuck it. I am a fanboy. Fuck it. All of you guys are fanboys of something. So fuck that. Okay?
Yeah, but I'm not
fanboy of the product. Yes.
Oh, God, please let me see Wade Barrett again. I wasn't saying that 10 years ago.
Dude, he's a good talent. So you're not a fan of Wade Barrett either?
What has he done? What has he done to move the needle to make you go, oh my God, Wade Barrett is wrestling?
All right, well, there it is.
But it looked like you may have a fan, King Lucky. So, be happy.
At least there's one.
Yeah, there's one. And of course, how the show ended. Man, so did Martinez just knock Ripley out or what?
Dude, that was good. I mean, out of all the women in the ring, she needed,
Yeah.
that was good stuff. Yeah, I liked it.
So wait, which one knocked her out? Was it Martinez or was it the other one, Gonzalez? I can't tell now because apparently they can't make up their fucking mind which chick.
Yeah.
It's like Vince is down in NXT now going, which tall, athletic Mexican chick? You, I don't know. What are you? Just go out there.
Yeah. Well, anyways.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But
go ahead, man.
Yeah, I thought the way they ended the show was good. I mean, granted, I do want them to circle back to Rhea and Mercedes Martinez, and then it just seems they're a little indecisive now what they want to do with that whole situation. But I'd like to see them circle back to it, and then she can move on to Gonzalez because that's another beast of a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just building Raquel Gonzalez up to feed her to Rhea Ripley.
I don't know. I thought according to you guys, Lucky, I believe just a little while ago, you said that her and Rhea are becoming a tag team to wrestle.
Well, listen, strange bedfellows, you can certainly have them team up at some point. So that's what I was saying. But yes, but moving on, I do want to say that they did announce the Fatal 4-Way match. Woo!
Well, that's what I was getting to next.
Iron Man match, which is going to be so good. You got Gargano, Balor, Cole, Ciampa.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you guys think wins that one?
I'll ask an even better question. Who's the babyface?
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole? Even in spite of the other shit that's transpired, as far as the O'Reilly match with Drake and everything surrounding it. I mean, I don't buy Cole as a babyface.
You mean the new leader of the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly? There's your matchup there, brother. That's fucking money. You put that belt on Adam Cole, he becomes your babyface champion, and now the Undisputed Era is under Kyle O'Reilly, who is going after that belt.
So they kick Adam Cole out of the group. Wow.
Force him out.
I'd be cool with that, actually.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with that. Like, and that remedies exactly what my main issue was with the 4-way. Because if you look at it, obviously, based on the stuff that we saw earlier from Ciampa, the guy is without question a heel again. And then you've got Balor, who has been a heel. And then, I mean, come on now. Like, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I still don't know if I can buy Cole as a babyface.
I think I can, without a question. I think as strong as he is a heel, he'll be that good of a babyface. I mean, it's clear with the reaction that he has with the fans, and they'll instantly be in his favor. And I think he has no problem selling it. I'm telling you, the stuff that he did with Pat was just so good. So I think I can see it.
You're looking at within the next 2 to 3 years, you're looking at Triple H's opponent at WrestleMania. Babyface Adam Cole.
And I will say this. I don't see how Moxley beat him out for PWI's #1 wrestler of the year. I think Adam Cole was.
Okay, we can get to that later.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's jump over into AEW. Hangman Page.
Yep. Closer and closer each day to turning the hill, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And
caused the Young Bucks to lose against best friends. He's just back there just a drinking and has no words. What's going on with Hangman?
Here's the question, Steve. Wasn't it more of a heel move that the Bucks throwing that drink in his face, man?
Yeah, I thought that didn't exactly accomplish what they were setting out to do. One really interesting thing to think about is, you can look at it in a couple of different ways. Obviously, Omega has been teasing a heel turn for forever. Who's to say that Omega didn't tell Paige to go out there and to do that? And ironically enough, after the match, later on in the show, you had Hangman Page in the bar area, and if you'll notice, there were a couple of beers on the counter as well. Were those beers for the Young Bucks, or were those beers for FTR? I think that's something that is pretty interesting, because you got to think about it in that, did Page want to actually let the Bucks know that it was actually Omega that told him to go out there and do that? So, I mean, there definitely could be some nuance there. Now, realistically speaking, I mean, lowest hanging fruit, then obviously he joins up with FTR and Tully Blanchard.
Yeah.
Lowest hanging fruit. That's the most, that's the thing that is most likely to happen. But personally, I would like to see the other scenario that I just mentioned happen more.
Okay. And FTR, they the ones who won that match.
They get those titles, baby.
Yeah.
I think that's a lock.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And the payoff will be there for them coming in and all this stuff. It's a big spot for them.
And there will be a live crowd.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to get that feedback from the live crowd immediately.
Yeah.
So when the heels get the titles, the crowd's
exactly.
gonna go nuts.
Exactly.
Man.
Listen, we all enjoy when Chris Jericho is commentating, but my laugh of the night, I told you what my laugh was for NXT. My laugh of the night here comes from good old Jake Roberts. I just love when he said, look, the Flintstones are coming out. The only thing I was mad at is that the cameras didn't actually, because I wanted to know who was Wilma.
Right.
Was that Taz? Was that Taz or Ricky?
Yeah, I believe it was Taz.
Yeah, it was Taz.
That was funny. I love
that. Was funny. But you know what? I'll tell you what, that angle is a little curious to me, because here are two of your, biggest free agents that, came in and kind of went that way a little bit after big title matches, right? So now, who gets over? I think ultimately in the Casino Battle Royal, both of those guys will eliminate each other, and then they'll have a feud.
Is that it?
That's it. That's it, baby.
Okay.
You know what? If Jake Roberts and Taz didn't have microphones, who the fuck cares?
Wow.
Simple. I mean, honest.
No, it's true.
Am I not calling out an actual honest? Are you going gaga when Brian comes out with the FTW belt? It's like,
well, that part's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that title is ridiculous at this point.
I gotta love Jericho for calling it out, not on the show, but on his
podcast.
Saying it's worthless.
For one reason, it's money. That's it. I mean, look, Taz comes out with the FTW hat now, and it's like,
yeah, they're gonna merch the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say big props to ex-NXT superstar Sean Maluda for debuting on AEW and getting fed to Lance Archer.
I don't
Really
know
nothing?
what those words you just said meant.
I was being completely sarcastic, but yeah.
I know.
Okay. Lucky doesn't even know who that is, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, listen,
He didn't watch a Cruiserweight Classic. He didn't watch 205 Live. He didn't watch any shit where, cruiserweights were involved. So he just thinks it's some local talent that's brand new that's never even seen TV before.
Well, let me throw you an easier one, King Lucky. How about the MJF segment in the ring, the contract signing with Moxley? And that was really good. That whole segment is just money. Shout out to Moxley using the term dickwad.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny. The ultimate was when he gets that match with the
good old smart Mark Sterling.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty funny. But this whole segment was gold. It was when they were pretending like they didn't know what he had added to the contract. That was really funny. So, it was good.
Page 17, man. Page 17.
Page 17.
Yeah.
All you got to do is read the whole contract.
There's that pesky number 17 again.
Yeah. Dark Order.
Tell us about it, Lucky.
Oh boy. Listen.
Why do we cover every single fucking thing?
That's a great question.
We can just skip over some of this shit, dude.
Yeah, like the Dark Order.
The Dark Order. Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I do have to give them a shout out for bringing a meme to life with the four pallbearers with the casket dancing to the music, though. That was fun. What?
Absolutely.
Don't tell me that you guys haven't seen the fucking meme.
Oh yeah, no, it's. I mean,
okay.
It's just you're right. It's like, there you go. That's.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Dark Order.
But at least they're adding another female, just so.
Yeah, Taya Conti.
Yeah, that's true.
He just got the first one right.
The hits just keep on coming, Lucky.
They just got the first one right, and yeah. So, that's all right.
Big Swole? No? All right.
Rebel should not be competing in a ring.
Right.
Sorry.
Even in a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
It's bad, man.
Makeup only. Shout out to Matt Hardy. Twist of fate with a chair.
Yeah.
I like that move. That was pretty dope.
Shout out to a table.
Yes. No shit.
Well, yeah, that too.
Gave Sammy the revenge.
Fucking receipt. Hello.
Ouch. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. He did get that. So, and of course, the show ended. You had Cassidy just running over and attacking Jericho over at the announce table. So, building that big match up. So,
yeah,
that's all of beautiful AEW.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
All out.
All out, baby. This is a big weekend or a big week for wrestling fans. When you look at it, you've got Payback, obviously, that just kicked off the week. Raw. You've got Dark. You've got Impact Wrestling.
You're just repeating every fucking show that's played.
Well, I'm just saying everything that they've got this week. Yeah, whatever. Piss off. Anyway, it's a big week. And Tony Khan just announced that they're going to do a pre-show for AEW. So bang, how about that?
Hashtag not my king.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Oh, let me ask you the important question. How much you paying for that pay-per-view?
As much as you are.
Yeah. And legally, my eyes won't be seeing it.
There you go.
All right. So we're just going to go a little bit over. We're going over Raw and SmackDown in terms of what is didn't pertain to tonight's pay-per-view. So just whatever we thought should just be thrown out there that you want to mention. Yeah, like Aleister Black
versus KO. I think it's gonna make for a good feud.
Okay.
And I think it'll help elevate Black's stock in the eyes of Vince because KO can work with a broomstick.
Yeah, but how valuable is KO in Vince's eyes?
I think he is.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, says the guy who was on commentary for SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a bad use.
And the guy who provided Vince with the worst WrestleMania match he's ever seen. Quote, unquote.
Quote unquote.
We'll see. Well,
all right. You have your, let's see, we got Tozawa. He's your 24/7 champ. You excited about that?
Lucky doesn't even know who that is.
I know who Tozawa is, but he's the leader of Retribution. That's who he is.
Fucking ninjas in Retribution.
Ninjas in Retribution. Sounds like a song.
Drew took three headshot kicks from Morton.
Yeah.
So
maybe he's got a movie to do.
Maybe.
Well,
I think during the pre-show they talked about it, and news had just came through that out of all that, it was just his jaw was.
Yeah. I love the way that Charlie sold him.
Yeah. I was like, he took 3 headshots, and it was just his jaw that got it. Okay, all right, well, I'm with it. You know. We had Retribution that attacks Mysterio and Dominic. So
snooze.
Yeah. And that seemed like that takes care of Raw. So show up and see what SmackDown got. Was different.
The 2 biggest things of the night for me was Sami Zayn returning.
Yep.
Which, is good. Sami is a hell of a mic worker, good in ring. So that was good to see him come back. And then the final moment of the night, Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman, baby.
Yeah.
Which we've already covered.
Exactly. So I'm done.
I do have to give a shout out to Postman Pierce.
Yeah.
That was the highlight of the night.
So,
other than Heyman, obviously, but
I think I now understand. It took me a while, but I think I now understand when you guys say that the show was written for one.
Oh, really? Please explain.
Because when I saw the Postman Adam Pierce, and then when I hear about Retribution, and I'm going, yeah, this is beginning to see like this is just written for a person of one. Because I'm like, okay, it just didn't even. So
yeah,
anyway,
but the
yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, finish your thought. I'll go back to it.
No, it's all right. I would just because I also was going to talk about the idea of just Vince, how they started the show. Apparently, he doesn't do any fist bumps or elbow bumps either.
Yeah,
so
he doesn't do any of that shit.
So he doesn't do any of that. And,
no.
And then I'm watching Adam Pierce.
Shit, Titus O'Neil got suspended for 60 days for grabbing Vince.
Yeah, that's true. I remember. So, yeah. Go ahead, man. That's what I was saying. I finally now understand that. When I saw Adam Pierce, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but that actually made sense.
Oh, okay. Why does it? Because I don't get it. Was he like once a postman or something?
Mr. Rogers, bro.
Yeah, it's a children's show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Firehouse,
okay.
House.
Mr. Rogers had
That's true. That's true. I
speedy
didn't even
delivery
think
or
that.
whatever it was.
Mr.
Wow, that's
McFeely.
true.
Mr. McFeely,
Okay.
and also Pee Wee Herman, Pee Wee's Playhouse. That's
Yep.
essentially
Yeah,
the
okay.
mailman in that show. You know, that's what the Firefly Funhouse really is. It's Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
So this is all basically that reveal fit that perfectly if you are aware of Kid Show. If you're then you just think it's a rib. But
Okay.
it's actually most likely, I would almost say that.
Well, let me ask you this.
Came up with that.
So is there anything else during Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or even Pee Wee Herman? Or are there any other characters in that show that could have been used instead of the postman?
No,
Not really.
Okay.
Perfect, because he was delivering the contract.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It actually makes sense for once.
Right.
Something that looks like it's stupid actually does fit into what it should be.
So both Matt and Sissy Steve, you guys seem like you guys both understood that reference of the Fiend's character in that light. Is that something you've always that you figured out from the beginning, or did you read up on that? Because now that you're telling, I never even thought about it until now that you're mentioning it. I'm thinking, yeah, that is what Braun's theme is all like. But I just never thought that. I mean, I'm just curious. Like, I mean, you guys are bright minds. That's why I'm just curious. Did you just, when you saw that, you automatically just clicked to you like, oh, this is just Mr. Rogers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
That was the first thing that kind of came to my mind, especially like the first time that he, became the new persona. I mean, he was wearing a sweater vest or like a V-neck sweater or something that I immediately connected to Mr. Rogers. It was,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got to, I mean, the use of the puppets.
Yes.
And the, even, putting crazy art on the wall, with the eyes crossed out and stuff, having Sister Abigail's painting up there, all that stuff. It's just, it's classic children's television programming.
Got you. It makes sense. There's two last things, a couple of jokes, that I guess trying to get around Fox not getting them to shut the segment off. But Otis has this salami, and Biggie says, get that meat out of my face. And Sasha says, hey, look at these clowns playing with their meat. I was like, okay.
Yeah, they can push the limits.
So I just wanted to shout that out. They were just trying to see how far I guess they can go with that.
Is Otis possibly the worst? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, is Otis possibly the worst Mr. Money in the Bank that we've ever had?
Yeah, well, you can't really judge him because you're in a pandemic time.
Yeah.
You're in a pandemic time. He hadn't really been able to let loose all the way yet. So I'm not going to judge him yet.
To let loose.
Yeah, I'm not going to judge him yet.
What's he going to let loose? A fucking salami and a fucking Money in the Bank lunch pill?
Dude, just wait until you're eating those words when he cashes in on Roman Reigns.
Dude, if he does that, I will fucking pop like a motherfucker. If he cashes in and wins.
Are you then popping for his salami?
Or what would make it even better is if Roman just destroys him. Like he cashes in, he's all amped up and stuff, and then Roman just to finalize the heel turn, just spears him like 3 times and like pins him with one finger or some shit. I'd love it. I would love it.
That is hilarious. So the last thing I just want to mention, I just noticed that what I'm beginning to see, and it's especially was showing up on SmackDown, was why all the breakups? I mean, Shinsuke Cesaro, Lucha Party, Nikki, Alexa, Sasha, Bailey. That's like the storyline theme right now is the possible, breaking up of these. I mean, what was your take on all that? It just seemed like there's a lot going on.
they're just getting ready for the superstar shakeup or whatever they're choosing to call it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's supposed to happen in a couple of weeks, I believe. So they're just trying to uncouple the people that will probably onto different brands.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Well, it looks like we have covered the wrestling talk when it comes to that. And we have nothing from King's lucky side. That's fine. Of UFC. Nothing good was on, huh?
It's underwhelming.
Not too much. Okay.
Yeah,
boo boo.
Underwhelming card.
It was boo boo.
Poo poo as you said.
Boo boo, not poo poo.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's a difference.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's I hand this over to Matt Michaels, but just to set it up, we lost a WWE Hall of Famer, Bullet Bob Armstrong, and he lost the battle of bone cancer. And so I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch too many matches during his time, but I was always familiar with the name because it was always brought up during the shows. And you just hear a lot of names that during the time that you'd go, wow, these had to really be special people, because you hear their name all the time, even though you don't necessarily get to see their performance. So Matt Michaels, just a little information, if anything.
Well, I hope that you didn't see him wrestle too much in your lifetime, because he's the dad of the Road Dogg and Brad Armstrong and the other brothers. So he essentially, you could say, an American version of a Stu Hart, kind of compared with a Fritz von Erich. He was one of those guys who was a behind the scenes guy for years and years and years, did a lot with WCW. And really it's, it wasn't that he was a young man, but it was cancer. So,
yeah,
I think that, anytime a guy who is considered a respected person and a legend passes away like that, that's it's historically a shame. Not that he has any impact right now in wrestling itself in terms of what he's
sure
to the table right now. I think maybe one of the last times, I think they had him team with Road Dogg and TNA, I think, if I'm not mistaken, years back, probably about a decade ago. So I think that, he got a little exposure to the newer generation, but, without him, you don't have the Road Dogg.
Right. So,
yeah. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Also, it appears that Rick Drazen, who was a very interesting guy in Southern California for years and years and years, he wrestled for probably some 25 to 30 years almost. He was not a huge wrestling name, but it was also a bodybuilder icon, and helped train a lot of the wrestlers in Southern California, as well as he was the one who was the designer of the Gold's Gym logo and the gorilla for the World Gym. So he just apparently passed away today. Just finding that out. And of course, how can we not bring up the fact that Chadwick Boseman passed away? The thing is cancer, yeah, you can keep it from people, as he did. No one knew. And that was, extremely personal and private. It's a shame when you lose someone who is in their prime and really good talent. You just got to think that the family and friends who did know about this, they probably made the most of his last 3-4 years of his life to the fullest. And hopefully, that's an example that even if you're going through something as devastating as cancer, you can still live your life, and you just can't be defeated.
Yeah.
Quit. Don't quit, because
Yeah.
obviously he didn't give up, and he brought us some more memories and brought some very important work to the big screen. If he would have gave up, you wouldn't have that Black Panther film.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's even more remarkable to think that while he was doing almost most of that Marvel stuff, he was dealing with colon cancer.
Yeah.
So, bottom line is, man, sometimes you feel like you can't drag your ass out of bed. And then on the flip side, some people who are in these positions where they're ill, they drag their ass out of bed and they make the most of it. So,
Yeah.
Make the most of it every day. You never know.
Yeah. He also visited a lot of kids who were cancer patients. And, of course, they would be shocked to see Black Panther there. And just to think, he's visiting them and he has the same, disease they have.
Yep.
So yeah, he definitely will be missed. And shout out, going back to the Hurt Business in the beginning of the show, because they did do the Wakanda Forever salute in that. That was the only sort of time we saw that tonight. But yeah, so they all will be remembered. And as we wrap up the show, just a few things we want to remind you. As always, our Zooms are on Sunday a little bit after 8 p.m. And if you can, definitely join us. There's also the comments there. We love to read them and possibly get them on the show as well. If you don't have our app yet, please just go to your app store on your iOS or Android. Just search Vegas BadBoyz with a Z. You'll see it. Download it. It's a lot of little cool things on there. And the really fun thing is the fact that you can chat with us and go into different rooms and give your opinions about the shows that you're watching. And most importantly, if you're not a subscriber to any of our podcasts, we're on all platforms. So you choose whichever platform you use. I know we have a huge Apple and Spotify base of people who like to listen to our shows there, but we're on all of them. So whichever one you choose, just search for the name and we'll be there. All right. So again, thanks for listening to the show. And with that, we will see you next week.
But for those of you watching on live stream, here we go. Let's get into 3 count. Don't worry, Lucky.
All righty. Hold on. All right. All righty. Zoom audio file.
Whenever you're ready there, Mr. DJ.
Yes, sir. It is 3 count time. And welcome everybody again to Vegas BadBoyz of podcasting. I'm your host, DJ Impact. I got some of the bad boys here with us. Simon Street is out with a little cold or so, but he'll be all right. We'll see him hopefully next week. So we have our 3 counts, and we're going to get right to it. Our first article comes from 411mania.com. And this one is titled Lance Storm Finds Grading Wrestling Like a Math Test. Odd. And Natalia agrees. So this is just a really quick kind of, it's not too much there, but we'll read a little bit of what some of the comments of the people say, and we're just going to kind of talk about, does he have a point, or it just is what it is. But it says that Lance Storm had went to his Twitter and pretty much wrote, "I find it odd that in an era where most people describe wrestling as an art form, they grade it like a math test. And back when wrestling was more focused on drawing an emotional reaction, people described it as a sport." And yes, Natty then agreed with that comment. But there was a few people, and there was a lot of comments that just kind of that popped up on there. And these are just a few of them. One person had said, but there is nobody more responsible for what Lance described than Meltzer, and yet Lance is friendly with, quote, respects, end quote, and does shows with Meltzer. Another person had also said that, this reads kind of defensive to me. People rate all forms of pop culture, usually the ones they like the most or follow the closely. And he goes on more to that. Another says, I always find it amusing when a match gets a 3 in a 3/4 star ratings. Outside of being the Tokyo Dome, how do you get an additional 4th star? And then one person said, hey, Lance is too focused on whatever he thinks about as his own experience. So, hey, there's a lot of comment on here, but fellas, I'm just curious. His whole idea of the grading, I guess, treating like a math test. Is that something you guys agree with Lance Storm about on this particular thing? Is he got a point, or you see where he's coming from? What's your take?
Personally, I don't have an issue with grading of the matches. Everybody has an opinion. Like, for instance, you said every art form is subjected to this, right? So you have an album and you may have Pitchfork that rates it at such and such, but I don't have an issue with rating it. I mean, it's still drawing emotion. You still are feeling something, but I don't have an issue with rating a match because, we rate pay-per-views, and based on how you feel, some people rate them higher than others, and then it leaves a lot open for discussion. So it's not a big deal.
You don't think
Everybody's
so?
got an opinion, just like how everyone's got an asshole. Some just stink.
Wow. Okay.
No, right. Seriously, like everybody wants to have an opinion. Everybody wants to voice their opinion. Everybody wants to think and feel like as if they have a say in, their favorite fandom or art form. And, for fuck's sake, we're 5 dudes that do a podcast every week. There's a reason why we do this. It's because it's fun, and this is how we like to interact with the fandom and the hobby that we enjoy. So, I don't have any problem whatsoever with it. And realistically, at the end of the day, do I think that, do I think anybody that was on Payback really gives a shit whether or not I gave it a C or a B minus? No. They're fucking seriously. Like what Lucky said, it's just a jumping off point for discussion.
Yeah.
I think you're missing the point of what he's saying, though. And this, ironically enough, goes into the hands of what AEW is trying to do. And that was bring in records as something that's meaningful. Try to make it more of a sport. You got to realize who this is coming from. It's Lance fucking Storm. Lance Storm, along with Bret Hart and, probably a number of other people that you can point to over the years, they thought wrestling was real because to them it was. It's their job. And to them, it should be looked at as athletes, as a sport, not as something that you just judge by how entertaining was this match. And I personally think that Lance misses the point as well on the factor that it doesn't matter if the match is 3 stars or 5 stars. It doesn't matter if the performers are considered an athlete or it's a sport. What professional wrestling relies on is essentially storytelling. And that's what it comes down to. It's one thing to like you said, Steve, have fun. That of course you want to have fun and talk about it and that kind of stuff. It's another thing for a guy like Meltzer to then be professionally making money off of grading this shit when Dave Meltzer has never stepped in a fucking ring.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I can say that, I know that Lance Storm's feeling about this is, from that perspective. And that's why Natty's the one who chimed in, because look, Natty's in the ring with fucking Lana on fucking Monday night.
That's true.
Right.
I mean, you can't grade that because that's just horseshit, period. But, that's what it comes down to. I think that some of these, sometimes you just take it to, Bret Hart was very called out a lot of times for being so, obsessed with being the champion and having this, this image and whatnot. And when he was asked to, play a dick going against Shawn Michaels, it was, to steal your term, DJ Impact boo-boo face.
Yeah.
It's true,
Yeah.
It's like Bret, you couldn't, but ironically enough, Owen got it. And Owen was probably more athletically gifted than Bret as well. So it's up, I think it's up to the actual performer to decide if, if the fans think it's great or if it's crap. That really, in the end, doesn't affect you personally, as long as you are doing your personal best and you feel you are accomplishing things.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
one thing that I'll say, Michaels, is I find it extremely funny that that Natty was, the first one to chime in, or at least the first person of note to chime in with this. Which, as we all know, she is tied to Bret Hart, and you even mentioned Bret in your statement just now. The thing that I find extremely ironic is Bret Hart is known for a particular quote where he dissed Triple H, saying that he never saw a Triple H match that was above a 4 out of 10. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to leave it right there. So even if Bret Hart is scoring things like a math test, leave it be.
Yeah. The other big thing too on that, which is, a follow-up point, is I can guarantee that Natty probably thinks she is the best wrestler on that roster.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah.
She's very good.
She is.
But
she is.
But no 10.
She's not.
Okay.
I would give her 5 stars in terms of being a cat mom.
Wow.
Lord of mercy.
Shout out to T-Paws out there. Whatever the cat's doing. All right. Well, cool. That's our that'll be our first count there. Thank you, Lance, for that. We'll try our best. I don't go through grading matches like a math test, but there are some folks on our board here that I'm staring at right now that do that.
What's up?
I'm staring at you. All right, let's go to our second count for tonight. Comes from my favorite, Forbes.
Forbes.com.
Yeah. Well, we only do the 3 or 4 when it comes to Sportskeeda. I don't think we have anything for that. And it is stop it, Matt Michaels. This one is titled WWE Thunderdome Won't Fix the Company's Creative Issues. Now, this article was written about 2 weeks ago, but I thought it was pretty interesting. I'm going to break down what the author Blake has written here, and then we could kind of. I mean, look, I'm gonna say he really went hard on WWE on this, and I I get what he's saying. I just don't know if you guys tell me what you think, and I'll go from there. I'm just going to read just parts of it. He says, first off, the real issues that have plagued WWE over the past 6 months have nothing to do with giant video boards, fireworks, or lasers, and everything to do with the lackluster overall quality of its product. During the Performance Center era shows, WWE has had its bright spots for sure, like the advancement of Sonya Deville, the greatness of Bayley and Sasha, an impressive run for Drew McIntyre, and the resurgence of Randy Orton. But by and large, the company has had more swings and misses since March, like the Extreme Rules pay-per-view that critics labeled arguably WWE's worst pay-per-view era.
Would that be a 1 out of 10?
That would be disastrous retribution angle, or the trying way too hard Raw Underground, which didn't help Raw's third-hour viewership in week 2. And even former WWE stars have criticized for its inauthentic nature. The list of failed storylines WWE has done over the past several months would read about a mile long, he says. He also mentions that Heyman was a well-known supporter of WWE's up-and-coming talents, and now that he's out of Raw's creative head, the Red brand's issues with its ups and down booking have only gotten worse, he says, with more of a focus on the stars of yesteryears, like Shawn Michaels and MVP and Orton, Ric Flair, etc., and less eyes on the stars like Ali and Black and Baszler. And despite Heyman's removal as Raw executive director and Bruce Pritchard's taking the reins of WWE's creative process alongside Vince McMahon, WWE's solution to its plummeting viewership hasn't been to put a concerted effort into taking the necessary steps to improve that process. So he said, look, here's the thing. You can give a car a shiny new coat of paint, but if the engine doesn't work, what good does that do? God dang, Blake, for real? Is it all that serious? Look, and then he ends this way. The same logic can be certainly applied here. Yes, WWE should be revamping its TV product by moving out of the Performance Center and altering the production elements of Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-view to make them more appealing. But the harsh reality is that much like Raw Underground or Retribution initially create a buzz that quickly fades away. The same will ultimately prove to be true of the new over-the-top Thunderdome concept if it doesn't come accompanied with what WWE really needs: better booking. Okay, guys, he said a lot, and I mean, he even went deeper than that. Blake is really not feeling that. I'm pretty sure if I go back to some of his articles, he's probably a huge AEW fan. I'm pretty sure.
He was probably writing the article while he was watching Dynamite. Then he called Steve and asked him for a rating on the article.
But okay, let's just go. Let's just ask the question, though. I mean, let's go. I mean, does you guys agree with him? I mean, there are some things that we have seen since March that has been questionable. But now that we're 2 weeks since this article has come out, and now we've seen what the Thunderdome has, presented itself, and again, what he titles this is that it's titled, get back to it here. I can't believe this thing went off. Hold on, I'm going to get the right title for you. Here we go. He titled this, WWE Thunderdome won't fix the company's creative issues. Okay.
So I will say this. When they first announced it, I was pretty excited, and I'm still excited. I mean, I'm a bells and whistles kind of person, so I like the 50-50. I like the in-ring stuff, and it's got to have a great presentation. Mm-hmm. AEW, I thought, through the pandemic, at least, for the last couple of months, since we've been in this, has had the better presentation being at Daly's place. So I was looking for WWE to finally figure out something like that, right?
Yeah.
The first show in the Thunderdome, I did think the creative was really bad. Like I thought the show was just all right. But I will say now that we're 2 weeks removed from this article and from when they started doing it, things have gotten better. And I only look for it to continue to get better, as they continue to kind of bring back some stars that we haven't seen and stuff like that. But you did mention a name that I got to point it out, Ali. I'd probably agree with them. This particular talent, dude, we wanted to see this guy come out and maybe he's part of Retribution. Maybe that'll play into the hacker angle. Maybe all that stuff will tie up.
Yeah.
But talent like that, you don't have anything for him. I find that hard to believe. So,
and yet you want to take the title off of Apollo Crews and put it on Bobby Lashley. Blow it out your ass, dude. Come on.
I've always thought Bobby Lashley was a good talent. He can't talk on the mic, but I don't have a problem with him getting.
But you're countering the point. You're countering the point. Your own fucking logic.
Did they ever give Lashley a big push?
What I'm saying is, in this article, he specifically says they focus on older talents. Now, he used the examples of Shawn Michaels, so they brought him out for one fucking
one
thing. Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And Ric Flair, who, they just tied into the old man gimmick. I'm an old man, don't hurt me. They strengthened a character. It's called storytelling. But the whole idea here is that he's complaining that they're using these older talents, and yet, like, Ali is this fucking godsend talent that should be featured. It's like, if you're amongst that thought pattern, then be for those guys.
Yeah.
If you're cool with them using the older people, which you are with someone like Lashley and MVP and Shelton Benjamin, which I am too. I'm fine with it. I just, I continuously bring up the point that everyone who likes to bitch about, so-and-so should go to AEW because they're not being utilized right. Then they turn around and they say something like, Lashley should have won this. At least he's fumbling around here in that gray line, because he initially says that one of the good things they did was establish Orton, and then he says they use him too much because he's an older guy. So, what the fuck, dude?
Can't have it both ways.
Right. Yeah.
I think the thing that's really important with this article, DJ Impact, how are you doing? You seem a little bit hurt. Like as if Blake isn't your best friend anymore. I gotta know, man. What's going on?
I'm good. I just think he just sat there and just shit on everything that they have done. Here's the question I want to ask, right? So he's saying that the Thunderdome, and again, he's creating this before we now see what it looks like, but it won't fix their creative issues.
No shit.
So yeah, exactly. But
no shit. I mean, it has nothing to do with creative.
It doesn't.
It's merely there to take away, any thought of being in an empty arena. It's not meant to be a part of the show necessarily.
Right.
Wait, Steve, let's do the test. Lucky, do you like Thunderdome?
Absolutely.
There you go. That's exactly the response they were looking for. You're right.
Yeah,
Steve.
Exactly. It's not to do with, how the booking is whatsoever. I mean, he's drawing a false equivalency.
Right. Exactly.
So, as Lucky had mentioned, you have to have, he said 50-50, but I mean, you have to have the sizzle with the steak and vice versa. Otherwise, it's not going to work for you. So
I would assume.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, DJ, but the other thing that he conveniently kind of just, forgets is that you're talking about a company that is currently just in this 2 weeks alone. They did 2 Raws, 2 SmackDowns, 2 NXTs, 2 pay-per-views. Is all this stuff going to be fucking, hitting on every cylinder? No.
Right.
That's more TV than, Listen, South Park years ago decided we're not even going to split up, half seasons anymore, because we're just going to do 10 episodes straight for, 12 weeks and take 2 weeks off in between because it's a lot of fucking work.
Right.
Television, you forget this is a lot of work.
Not to mention, again, like we were saying, they don't have an audience, a live audience.
Yeah.
So, what they're trying to put on, is to keep us viewers as much entertaining as they can without the group that helps make them successful, which is the audience.
Yeah.
So
and now you figured a way to put the audience in, which to me is more distracting because as the match is going on, now you've got these TV screens in front of you with, people doing God knows what, and
Chris Benoit and Kenny Omega.
Yeah. Klansmen, Ku Klux Klan.
Public executions.
Well, let me ask you this. So, Michaels, you're distracted by it, right? What about the rest of you guys? Is it a distraction for you, Steve?
My thing is, I think that I mentioned this either last week or the week before, probably last week, but I think that it should be required for a Thunderdome audience member to have a WWE licensed background as they're doing it through Zoom. And they can even brand it to where it looks like as if they're in an arena seat where, if they want to put their branding on it, the seat has the WWE logo or the image has the WWE logo in the corner or some shit. But
Steve, you just hit on something really good. Fuck even the drop like we have. An arena setting. Put images of fans behind them so that now you've created a depth to the damn thing and it's not fucking TV screens. That'd be
exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah. There you go, man. They need to cut
You're
the
welcome.
check.
There's another one. Just cut the check. Fuck it.
Impact, do you get distracted when you're watching this?
I don't. When I first saw it, it was distracting. Probably the first couple of times I would say it was. And then now, not really. I just pay more attention. I just pay attention to what I see in the ring. But I can see how it can be because to be honest with you, that's the purpose of an LED screen. It's supposed to be vibrant. It's supposed to grab your attention. It's supposed to keep your eyes, staring at it. Anytime you put light in where you're looking at, it's designed to grab that attention. And those LED, right there, it's a lot going on behind there. But I'm to a point now where it doesn't bother me. But yeah, the first couple of shows, I was like, I'm looking at everything that's happening around, like, I think what's going on.
If Uncle Bruce, if you're listening, please, since Dexter Loomis is out for a while, please have him watching one of these Thunderdome shows with his serial killer house, the walls in the background and stuff. That's brilliant shit right there. And that one's free. Bruce.
No charge.
Charge for that one.
Dude, yeah, now that you say it, have Brock Lesnar show up on one of those. Pissed off.
That they have to do something like that to where, like, somebody big like a Brock Lesnar or something, that it pans out into storyline and becomes WWE canon.
If you really want to, and since this guy bitched about it a lot, have Retribution take over every single
screen. That was actually what I was gonna say. Have them to take over all of the screens.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd be in on that
one. Hell, if you really want continuity, then you have Mustafa, who this guy loves too, be the guy who's the hacker anyway.
Right.
That.
Yeah. Boom. Have him be the leader of Retribution or some shit. Yeah. Just have it all work together, and just they can trip, fall, and land into a storyline that has complete continuity as long as they circle back to that.
I think they just got it from us, guys.
Yeah, check that one. Checks in the mail, Bruce.
Yeah. Or at least, what we just want? We just want free tickets for life, baby, when they come back to the show.
Oh, God, Jesus.
This fucking Mark.
You take free tickets for life instead of a nice big paycheck?
I spent a lot. I spent a lot of money on WWE. So yes.
Yeah, I guess so. You're probably right about that.
Lucky the free tickets you'd be getting, you'd be pissed off because it's free, but I'm sitting all the way at the top of an arena.
No,
right.
No, that's why I say I got to be sitting in the front.
They're not gonna comp you that shit, dumbass.
Right.
And that's more distracting than these fucking stupid screens. So.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Hashtag not my king.
There you go. Let's get over to our third topic from WrestlingWorld.com, and it's titled David Benoit on his ring name. And so I guess apparently right after the Vice TV's Dark Side of the Ring episode aired, he recently spoke about what ring name he would use if he ever stepped into a professional ring. And of course, that episode was revolved around Chris Benoit and his working with WWE and ECW superstar, and eventually took his life as well as his family. That was there. But going back to David, which is his oldest son here, he mentions that. Well, first off, I would say that it says that that David stated that the episode definitely ignited the spark. He says it was actually when I saw AEW, another AEW fan there, Steve. He says, I was never interested in WWE. The quality of their product just keeps going down. AEW just looks so much better and a lot more fun. It's just so interesting, man. It just seems like people's either going to be on one side or the other. There's no way to just saying, I like both products.
Hey, Street, this one's for you. Sometimes you got to call a beaver.
Yeah, But he says, look, if he does enter a ring, and he would be a third generation wrestler, he will pay a homage by using Chris Benoit, which is I guess Christopher's middle name. So he would use Chris Benoit. He also mentions that he would also use his ring attire as well in there. And so, and of course, this would have to be, I guess, something that would fly with AEW or maybe one of the other companies that's out there that isn't WWE. But what do you think about this, guys, when you read this? And I guess, this would all depend on how you feel about this particular story, just in general, with knowing the story with Chris Benoit. I mean, I know there's a lot of people who have different emotions about it during that particular time. But David saying, hey, I want to use this name. I want to use this ring attire. I don't want people to forget who he is. And I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Is he wrong about this? Is he right? We're not sure. It's just going to be to each one. I mean, what's your take?
How old is he?
I don't think it gave a name, age, so I'm not sure. I can look it up right quick, but I'm not sure.
Well, here's the thing. And I don't want to be insensitive. His father was one of my favorite wrestlers. But if he hasn't really delved into this yet, I just don't have much, I don't have much confidence in him really making a solid push.
Okay, he is 27.
27.
And he's already got training.
Yeah.
No, I know he's already had training, but I don't have much confidence in him.
You're putting a fucking title on Bobby Lashley, who's almost 50. And at 27, oh boy, he's over the hill.
I just don't see it. I mean, I don't see I don't see the passion, the hunger for it. I don't see it. I just feel like after coming off of Dark Side of the Ring and all this stuff, I don't see him being,
Do you not see it, or do you not see him have the opportunities already because his father killed his family?
Right.
Well, here's another point then. I mean, you bring up a great point. Is he even going to get a fair shake?
In WWE, no.
And WWE, definitely not. Who's going to be willing to take that chance on him?
I could actually see him going to New Japan before I could see him going to AEW.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where, I mean, realistically, if he wanted to do this, Chris Benoit competed as Wild Pegasus over in Japan underneath of a mask. I could totally see him not going by Chris Benoit Jr., but by going by Wild Pegasus Jr. And
I'm perfectly fine with that.
And wearing his dad's gear, his dad's mask. Yeah.
And in that case, you don't even have to use Junior.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Just continue, just like, they do with like Blue Demon and stuff like that,
Like Tiger Mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be perfectly fine with that. I just don't think stateside there's, there would be a market for him at any point.
So realistically, the biggest problem is the opportunities.
Yeah.
Right. So we know WWE is not going to do it. AEW. Here's the problem. The problem is that even if they want to give him a shot, you have to explain to TNT why you're allowing this.
Right.
Mm.
Now, here's the kicker on it, and that is, listen, should David Benoit not get a shot because of his father's actions?
Yes.
No.
I mean that's what the question that I that you just asked that I wanted to ask as well.
Yeah, I don't think that should be held against him, right?
I agree.
Right.
But David Benoit wanting to use his father's name, not only are you bringing up the murders, but you're also now showing that by using that name, people are thinking that you want to make money off of using that name.
Yep. That you want to capitalize on it. Yep.
Yeah. And
yeah, I could see him, honestly, like if push came to shove, he wouldn't be able to use the Chris Benoit name. The article did mention that he had been speaking to the band that created Benoit's theme in WWE, which is a fucking badass song, by the way.
Oh yeah, without
Our Lady Peace did a great song. They've done a lot of great music, but the whatever song, which unfortunately has been scrubbed from the memory of anybody. I would love to see that song, for them to sign off on being able to allow him to use that song for sure. That'd be awesome.
So definitely, I guess bottom line is that you guys would agree that he should be given an opportunity, but he should try somewhere like New Japan first, or definitely not try to go start at AEW. And he already know that WWE is a no-go, so he should try somewhere elsewhere.
I'd be fine with the way that Steve laid it out, without question. Especially if he took it serious, and he could use the ring gear, he could wrestle under a mask, even if he had the theme song. I'd be fine with all of those things. But I just think stateside, he will not get a shot.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get copyright claimed.
Right.
Yeah.
that's where it's up.
Yeah.
You can't deny the song was badass. And
it was totally bitching. And like I said, he was one of my favorite wrestlers, even in in WCW. I always thought he was a badass. And then WWE gave him the proper treatment, the proper run, and he's fucking hell of a star, man. So yeah.
If he was willing to agree to again, not pay that homage, not to use that name, not to use that ring attire, to just create something totally different. Do you believe then that he would have a shot at AEW or even possible WWE?
WWE, yes.
Okay.
It would take a lot.
I think
AEW, I think that it's just a formality thing. They would just need to. Realistically, if he's being 100% serious about it, I could see Tony Khan actually going to TNT and discussing that with them, because David Benoit has done some of the fan interaction stuff with AEW in the past. Like, he's been backstage several times.
Mm-hmm.
So the Khans definitely know that he's, receptive to joining the organization or, getting in with them. So, I mean, it's not something that is catching everybody blindsided.
Don't forget, Steve, one of the biggest factors there is that Jericho's there.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think the biggest, if he's serious about using that as his moniker, then make the effort to have Nancy's sister and the family sign off on their blessing.
Without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. I think, because that's a whole nother can of worms that apparently the documentary kind of opened, and that was the idea that initially there was communication between David and their family, and then that kind of just disappeared. And then Nancy's sister says she has reached out to him. Apparently he didn't return. So there's layers to this that are even more than just would he get hired on it.
Yeah.
I would see that if the family didn't get approached and asked, I'd see the family suing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, that right there would be our 3 count. But wait, hold up. What we got going on here? This is not actually a 3 count. This looks like this is just going to keep going here. What's going on? The 2020 PWI 500 full list is what's going on. My Lord, my God. Folks, it says it's not a ranking for the calendar year, January through December. The evaluation period this year is from July 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2020. Okay. The wrestlers must meet the following requirements for activity to be considered for a ranking: 20 matches during the evaluation period, or at least 1 match in 7 separate months. Exceptions were made for wrestlers who were on track to complete these requirements prior to COVID-19. Also considered on a case-by-case basis, wrestlers whose careers were impacted by #speaking out allegations. Number 1, guys, Jon Moxley. You agree with that?
He's 15-0.
You say what?
He's 15-0 in AEW.
15-0.
I'm serious. No, okay. So here's the thing. Here's the thing that we have to establish right out of the gate. Okay.
Okay.
Pro Wrestling Illustrated is a worked magazine. Okay. It is not focused on backstage shit or smart mark shit. It is a fanboy magazine.
That would be King Lucky then. All right, King Lucky fanboy.
Yeah. Then if that
so
was,
I mean, realistic, and that's not meant as a
that's
slam on PWI by any means.
Yeah.
PWI has been in business for years and years now, and it's great that in the age where so many print magazines and other print media is going out of business, that they're still doing their thing. Yeah. So big props to them for that. But yeah, it's a worked magazine. It's okay, cool.
King Lucky, please.
Listen, I'm a fan of Moxley, right? But I don't honestly think he had a better year than Adam Cole. And no disrespect to him, but look at the talent that Adam Cole worked with over the last, that period that they said. But I mean, chalk one up for Moxley. The guy is a hard worker. Definitely got overlooked by WWE. So, I mean, well deserved. A lot of fans and a lot of wrestlers.
But did he really get overlooked by WWE?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the Shield was one of the things that got pushed down the throats of fans over.
Well, yeah, but what about when it was time for his singles run? That's what I'm saying. Like the Shield is one thing, but
I wouldn't say overlooked. I wouldn't say that he was overlooked. I would say that he was misused.
There you go.
Misused.
Right. So
he wasn't overlooked. He was given plenty of opportunities, but the opportunities weren't exactly the best quality.
Let me ask you, when he didn't get those opportunities, who were some of the people that got those opportunities? Were they guys like, I don't know, John Cena and Daniel Bryan and some of these guys who were, I don't know, say, going on 40-something?
Yeah, silent.
You see, folks, that's a little thing called continuity.
Yeah, you can't have it both ways, Lucky.
Yeah. Well, I still think they could have done right by him. That's just my thing. But, I thought Cole had a better year, but, let Moxley have it. Fuck it.
Okay, so let's get down to the heart of this. Steve, you said he's 15-0. So he wrestled 15 matches. I mean, that's the whole thing with this Worked magazine stuff. It's like,
he just made the cut.
Well, yeah, but the point is, here you have to have worked 15 matches, and a guy like AJ Styles, who should be in the top 5 every fucking year,
without question.
Right. It's like, oh, we're gonna put him down lower. Lucky's boy Chris Bay was 202, and I see Lucky's tears coming down off of that one.
But that's a strong show in 202.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that, is he 202? Like what, because if you're basing the full ramifications on a record,
mm-hmm.
You look on Impact, when that ranking ended, Chris had just won that title. If you go back, he was losing matches as well. So, the thing is that is 202 too high or is 202 too low? It's such a stupid subjective thing.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is that people will argue this shit. And the fact of the matter is that, quite honestly, listen, Moxley did a good job. Is he the top? You have to go back and look at some of the controversies they've had. I think that's the biggest thing. Their job is to sell fucking magazines. So make it controversial and also play to what the fans who will buy these magazines like.
Exactly.
The average WWE fan doesn't give a shit. So you could put John Moxley on because the smart marks are going to be like, oh shit, yeah, even though it's a Worked magazine. So go figure that.
Yeah.
And also, what really to me proves this point to kind of a T is the fact that Cross is on there like 98 or 96, something like that. But if I'm correct, from most of that time period, he didn't even wrestle because he was holding out on Impact.
Right.
So,
yeah.
It was just like, and then you look, my favorite is when they had tag team wrestlers broken up by one person in between them. Let's put it this way. Good for you for still selling magazines, but as with printed press, it's showing it's dating here.
Yeah.
And what used to be one of the what used to be one of the things that wrestlers took the most pride in, I think now most wrestlers will take it as an honor, but really, are they giving a shit? Shout out to Jeff Cobb, number 70 on the list. Should have been probably number 20 at least. You know,
Number 500 is Dan the Dad. Matt Michaels, this is your job.
Michaels, book him.
Find Dan the Dad.
Dan the Dad.
And we will have him on our show.
Dan the Dad on the show. Coming
I
soon.
love it.
Yes. He's number 500. He's got to make the show. The most important guy in this entire list.
No way.
We're gonna find out for you guys,
yeah.
and we're gonna make it work. You know, and let's.
ladies and gentlemen, I can't get it to. Of course, it's the chroma. There we go. There's a picture of Dan the Dad.
Yeah.
Dan the Dad.
All right.
That's awesome.
That'll work. We're gonna try to make that happen. Yeah, but just looking at these names, it looked like they just decided to throw names wherever they wanted to throw it. You know,
You got 2,200 followers on Instagram, baby.
He's had 37 matches, no pay-per-view.
You don't fucking say.
I gotta love the gimmick though. The gimmick for anybody that wants to check him out. Thanks, Dan the Dad on Instagram. His gimmick looks pretty funny, so we're gonna have him on the show.
So basically,
But maybe he's on PWI, so maybe he's just too big shot, you know.
So we're looking to book the Mr. What is it,
Mr. Irrelevant? Yes.
Irrelevant for PWI list. Okay.
Hey man, maybe we'll have to go through an HR department to get that clusterfucker
There
right.
you go.
My question is, does he have kids? Because that is the easiest way for him to just recycle Heath's shirts. Just buy him the fucking discount bin and then sell them for twice the value.
Boom.
Dude, I'm already loving the gimmick. I've never seen him before.
Why did you even bring it up? Now, DJ, I'm gonna fucking get text every fucking hour. Did you get Dan the Dad yet, man? He's fucking awesome.
He wears world's greatest dad shirt. Dude, I love it. The gimmick is fucking dope.
Hashtag Dan.
Hey, you know who I like? I like him better than fucking Cameron Grimes.
Imagine my fucking shock.
Yeah.
Hey, Uncle Bruce, please. A Maine fisherman. That's what I want to see. If Dan the Dad can be 500, Maine fisherman's going to be like number 310, at least.
Easy.
With the mermaid, dude.
With the mermaid. You know what? I'm glad you said the mermaid, because that brings up my biggest gripe with this fucking list. Where are the goddamn women?
Oh.
That's a great
I didn't even notice that.
In this day and age, I'm reading through this list and something's bothering me, because I'm going,
oh yeah,
there's people I'm reading and I'm going, yeah, okay, whatever. And then I'm going, you know what? Charlotte Flair would be number 7, let's say. You know, Sasha and Becky, they would be fucking in the top 20.
Yeah.
You know,
right?
They've been going that, you know, you have an argument for number 1.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right on that one.
Wow.
So PWI, if you're listening, or if anyone could hashtag them, please, let's get the movement going that the PWI list should be male and female. After all, intergender wrestling is a fucking thing now. It's 2020. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're upset because you know, at the very last part of it, it says also wrestlers who careers were impacted by hashtag speaking out. So maybe that's they they're like, you know what, we'll handle that. 10 women only.
So Shant in the chat says hashtag push Cameron Grimes.
Ah.
I agree.
Listen, the bottom line is when he become a hit, and he will, we know what King Lucky's going to
Mhm.
do. He is
Lucky will
going,
fanboy all over
I
him.
will
Yes, he
He'll
will.
get the fucking special edition hat and everything.
In this fucking iteration of his character, I will never be fucking.
Wait.
I don't believe that.
Gotcha.
Stop that this iteration shit. You either are for him or against him. You're against him. If he makes it, don't say shit that you said so.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll fucking own it, man. I don't. He can't draw the curtain for me.
Bobby Lashley deserves a fucking title. All right, brother.
Yeah.
All right, so on the flip side, Brandy in the chat says Grimes sucks. So there you go, Lucky.
Hey,
You got
there
one
you
other
go.
person in the world that thinks the same way you do.
I
Congratulations.
know a lot of people that think like I do. You know what? Listen, maybe he's a nice guy, and I when he comes on, I just can't watch him. So you know what? That's okay. Wrestling's like fucking ice cream. Everybody likes a different flavor.
When
Wow.
he's in
My
when,
flavor,
when
baby.
he's in the main event of WrestleMania and we're there,
It'll
And
be
you're
like
going,
And he's
you're gonna
wrestling.
get you're
And he's
you're gonna,
he's wrestling Nicholas, who's now 23.
No, no,
Superstar.
as he's wrestling Bobby Lashley.
yeah.
52.
let me,
It's
Let
a
me
triple
get this-
threat match.
Oh my God.
please don't let that happen. You're
Yeah.
telling me when he's in the main event, you're gonna get up and take a bathroom break?
Oh man. Well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. I can tell you where I feel right now. I just have no fucking like. I don't know. He can't drive flies to shit.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that is our 3 count. We had a run in there, and this list, I guess, will be debatable as it is every year. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah. Where's fucking Cameron Grimes on that list? Since he's so fucking good.
I'm sure he's on there.
Oh, he's
Probably
definitely
haven't-
on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's he at?
Well, listen. In fact, where they probably have him is in the wrong spot. You know.
Wait,
Oh, there he
he's
is.
not high enough.
PWI list?
He's number 134.
Is he?
134.
No,
Like I said, not high enough.
Yeah.
What? No, I thought you were actually going to transpose the numbers. He'd be 431.
Either way, he still made the list.
Ooh, yeah.
Right.
Hey, like I said, different strokes for different folks, baby.
Oh God. All right. Let's do our final thoughts, guys. Unless there's something else you want to bitch about.
It's
Okay,
late,
good.
It's late in the evening on a Sunday.
Mhm.
Thank you for everybody that stuck with us and listened to the show. We love you
Absolutely.
guys. Thanks for listening.
All right.
Boom. Yeah, thank you guys for listening, hanging out with us in the Facebook chat, watching the Zoom stream. You guys are the reason why we do this. So thank you so much. And thank you to all of our podcast listeners as well. And if you're listening through the app, obviously repsports.com is the sponsor of the Vegas Bad Boys. So reppsports.com. Go there, get all of your pre-workout, nutritional, energy drink needs. And use promo code Vegas at checkout. You'll save yourself 15%. Repsports.com, promo code Vegas.
All right, Matt Michaels.
I just remember you can love the horse, but don't fuck it.
Even if it is legal in certain states.
Oh my Lord. Oh my God. All right, guys, just remember, marketing this, you know what? The best thing to do is if you have an iPhone, just grab your reminder app because they automatically just put it on there and just put after 8 p.m., just put right at 8 p.m. Vegas Bad Boys about to pop up on Zoom. Just put that on there. Make sure you put that on repeat because we would love to have you on with us while we're doing our show, and you can also be on the Facebook chat as well. Although, if you can't do that, don't forget, if you are a subscriber, the podcasts do come out this week. As in fact, tomorrow will be Wrestling Talk. Whatever your favorite platform is, please go there and just hit the subscribe button, and we will be. Lastly, don't forget to download our app to your phone. Today, we did our very first live chat on Payback, and shout out to everyone that jumped on as we got a chance to hang out with a lot of our subscribers and all. It was a lot of fun. We're going to try to do that going forward. You can go into any of the rooms. We have a room for WWE. We even have Sin City Steve's favorite room, AEW. You know, we got King's Lucky favorite room, FSW. There you go. I want to see that head shaking.
Yeah, man.
All right. You know, and then we even have a room for Matt Michaels. All right. ROH, ROH, Impact Wrestling. We got, that's your room. You know, so we
should get a historical chat.
Oh,
like a historical
dude,
chat room for the historian.
Something to think about. Why not? You know, so the rooms are always open. When you have something in your mind, just go in. Just make sure you keep it friendly and be real nice. You know what I'm saying? So with that, though, thank you for listening to us, and we'll catch you next week. We're out. Peace.